found.
So I've been up fighting demons. When I got the news, I didn't want to believe it. I can't leave this scene till his body hit the cement. Gotta keep a pole, niggas dying for no reason.
Yo, the Ancestry results are finally in. I found out exactly what my DNA is made up of. If you haven't seen part 1 of the Ancestry DNA, the tutorial of how you send in your sample and or how much it costs and everything, the link is in the description below. Watch that whole first video to the end and then follow up with this video. Hit the like button on both videos and hit the subscribe button if it's your first time on my channel. You know, you gotta believe this app. DNA matches to your DNA are your cousins, aunts, uncle. It's so interesting. They got cousins all the way up to the 8th cousin. If you don't know what that means, a quick brief breakdown of how you can have an 8th cousin is if your cousin has kids, that'll be your 2nd cousin. And if your 2nd cousin has kids, that'll be your 3rd cousin. And if your 3rd cousin has kids, that'll be your 4th cousin. So then you get the picture, right? So and then basically, I have about, I'm gonna go into how many matches I have right now, but I have so many DNA matches on this website and all the way up to like 8th cousins. And people even trying to contact me. I haven't even had my DNA in the system for a full week, and I have 3 people trying to contact me and figure out how we're family. It's pretty cool. It's even hard to believe that these people are really my family or they're even telling the truth. But like I said, the DNA doesn't lie, so it has to be real, right? Like, the question is if you do an ancestry test, would you personally want to know your family, and like, are you going to reach out or be willing to respond to inquiries as far as who connects you guys, whether that's a grandpa, grandma, your dad, your mom, or whoever, right? It's pretty overwhelming trying to figure out how you're related to these people. It's only right we start off with the percentages. I'm 37% Nigerian. Our Nigeria region takes Africa. Our Nigeria region takes its name from the most populous country in Africa, where more than 168 million people live in an area about twice the size of California. In fact, Nigeria has 6 cities with populations over 1 million. The United States has 9 cities with population over 1 million. So Africa is pretty big, and Nigeria alone has 6 cities with populations over 1 million. 23% from Cameroon, the Congo, and Western Bantu people. Extending through the heart of Africa are Cameroon, Congo, and Western Bantu regions winds through tropical rainforests, humid savanna, and semi-arid desert. Starting about 3,000 years ago, Bantu-speaking people spread from an area around the border, modern-day Cameroon and Nigeria, through much of the sub-Saharan Africa in one of the greatest migrations in human history. Today, the region is home to unrivaled ethnic and linguistic diversity. Here's where it gets interesting, and I'm completely lost. But I do know that I was going to be in for a surprise, so now we'll get into the mysterious parts of where my DNA comes from and how my ancestors ended up in these different countries. So now we have 9% English, England, and Northwestern Europe. The history of Britain, the heart of our England and Northwestern Europe region, is often presented as one group of invaders after another displacing the native population. The Romans, Anglo-Saxons, Vikings, and Normans all left their mark on Britain, both politically and culturally. However, the story of Britain is far more complex. In fact, modern studies suggest that the earliest populations weren't wiped out, but adapted and absorbed the new arrivals. Keyword, new arrivals. So somewhere down the line, my ancestors made it to England and settled and my family and my DNA became that much more complex. It's pretty interesting. Next, I'm 7% Benin and Togo. For years, anthropologists and others looked at the African ethnic groups as being mostly solitary and static. However, historians now know that the huge empires and kingdoms with administrations and armies, diplomatic corps, and distant trading partners have long been part of Africa's fabric. This is especially true of West Africa, where migrations, conquest, and intermarriage within allied kingdoms help explain why, for example, many people from our Benin and Togo region also have DNA that looks similar to our profile for Nigeria. So along the lines, there was alliances and marriages in between different villages in different parts of Africa. 6% Mali. Mali's modern boundaries were drawn in 1890 when French Sudan was created and united two different regions. The Sudanian savannas in the south and the Sahara Desert to the north. These man-made borders make our Mali region a mix of diverse people, but geography has also played a key role in Mali's history and people. The savannas at the edge of the desert made the area a natural center for trans-Saharan trade. 6% Ivory Coast and Ghana. Early French and Portuguese explorers identified sections of the West African coast by the area's resources, which is how Cote d'Ivoire, I don't know how to say that word, or Ivory Coast, that's how you say Ivory Coast in French, I believe. Ivory Coast got its modern name. Neighboring Ghana was known as the Gold Coast until won independence from colonial rule in 1957 and renamed itself the medieval Western Africa Empire. Today, more than 46 million people live in the two countries, which depend less on gold and ivory than they do chocolate. Ivory Coast and Ghana produce more than half of the world's cocoa. Here are the lesser percentages of my DNA, so we don't have to elaborate. I've been talking for a while now, but I am 5% from Senegal, 2% Scotland, 2% Ireland, 1% Southern Bantu people, Southern Philippines 1%, Norway 1%. Now tell me that isn't the most interesting blend of DNA profiles that you, by looking at me, you'd never be able to guess. You couldn't guess that down to the T. Like, how do they determine exactly what's in your DNA only from a saliva sample? My mind is just blown. My mind's boggled. But yeah, I've had family members reach out to me at this point. I'm gonna see what road this takes me down and try to connect some of the branches on my family tree and just learn some more of my history as time goes on. I'm also gonna give my grandma an ancestry test. Unfortunately, my dad passed away, so I'll never be able to use his DNA to add him to my family tree, but I got my mom a DNA test. She'll be added to my family tree shortly. I'm waiting for results to come back. And I just wanna say, if you're watching this still, and I'm approaching the end of the video, I appreciate you watching this whole video. It was more than a pleasure sharing my DNA with you guys, and I appreciate you guys for supporting me on this YouTube journey. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, bang the notification bell, and go get your own self a DNA test.
YouTube channel, show nowadays, subscribe.